Next one up. Really, really fascinating now. And this is a rock star. You're already loving this. Over half our quantity for the season has been spoken for. It's prime time now. So you've got 3 easy payments of $9.33 for the Passionate Pink Oriental poppies.
I love poppies. Poppies are one of those flowers that you might have only seen in a cut flower studio or in a bouquet. They're really one of those romantic cottage garden plants that I really encourage everybody to have in their garden. They are a fabulous garden plant that you can see here how they stick up atop these really thick, dense foliage, and they just, when a breeze comes along, your whole garden feels like a symphony because of the way that the poppies are just like moving in the wind. They also attract pollinators, so you will see a butterfly sitting on your poppy as it just kind of sways in the wind. It is something that I could watch all day long.
Are these live plants?
No.
No, got it. They're gorgeous.
Yes.
And you can pick them up now. And what am I physically going to be getting?
So you are actually getting bare roots here. What we are sending you is bare roots, because one of the reasons that we do bare roots is because it's easier on you. Would you rather dig something this big, or would you rather dig something this big? It's easier. And the other reason I love this is because these are so easy to pop in different places in your garden. So maybe you don't really remember what you planted last year, and when these come, spring has not yet popped up. So you just dig a tiny little hole. I mean, I'll plant them here, but it's not going to take me much time. You want to cover them entirely with soil. And okay, I just planted 2 poppies.
Yeah, that I know you showed that to our viewers. It just did not seem like knucklehead like me could do that. That's not hard.
Yeah, it's not hard.
Just make sure the right end is sticking up.
Right.
Now, how much water do you give them?
So poppies actually are super drought tolerant as well. They're one of those plants that is want to kind of set it and forget it. Of course, any baby plants you're going to want to water and check on until they pop up out of the ground. Spring is usually a wet season.
We started with 2,500, by the way. Guess what? There's 1,500 remaining for the season. So if you want to pick them up right now, item number M132519. Call the number 800-345-1515. Pick them up, bring them home, and love it. Boy, that's a really interesting garden color.
Oh,
too.
The coral color is so fascinating. And they have this black center. No, not a lot of coral flowers, but they grow great with purple. They grow great with yellow. There are so many different colors that these poppies go with, but they're such an unusual flower in themselves. So the thing about poppies is that they'll self-seed. So the seeds in the center, think about poppy seeds. So in the middle, at the end of the season, there'll be a bunch of seeds. You can cut them and you can then reseed them throughout your garden.
That's where you get poppy seeds from?
Yeah, that's where you get poppy seeds
from the poppy. Did you know that, Dan?
Flower.
You get poppy seeds. You didn't know that. You get poppy seeds from the poppy. Oh, you did know that?
Bagels are his favorite food.
This is $9.33. That's wonderful. Wonderful to know.
Yes.
Hey, guess what? They're here right now. You're getting the Bareroot plant. The guide is fantastic. Every time you get Cottage Farms, it's got a separate guide for that plant. Got a generic guide. So it's for that plant that you're picking up. It's 2 pieces. Containers, yes. Landscapes, yeah, mixed beds as well, right?
Absolutely. These are one of those versatile plants that if you're thinking in your garden right now, gosh, I had to weed that area so much last year, I'm sick of it. I was on a chat today with a bunch of you on QVC.com, and many of you were complaining about mulch and weeds and how expensive mulch is and how time-consuming and back-breaking weeding is. Well, look at how dense the foliage is, the leaves at the bottom of these poppies.
That's interesting.
So you know what's not getting through there? Weeds. So I know that we don't often like to talk about weeds here, but I really spend a lot of my time weeding, and I would rather have enjoy these beautiful flowers.
The more dense the foliage.
So the more dense the foliage, the sun doesn't hit the soil, weeds can't grow. So that's what I love about delivering you with the bare root of these, is that you can now think about, right now is your time to plan. Now is your time to dream. What kind of garden do you want? Do you want this garden here?
Okay, number of actual stems, because these are a long stem.
They are a long stem plant.
So how many can I expect in a season?
So these are going to be one of those late spring, summer blooming that continually bloom. You'll get at least 20 to 30 stems per plant. And these are perennial. So remember what I said though, they'll return year after year, but you can also make more. So these are one of the things you can take the seeds and move them to different parts of your garden. So it's what I love about being a gardener.
How would you do that?
Well,
how would you take
at the end of the
like
season, it looks kind of like a Christmas ornament. At the end, the flowers fade, and there's this dried seed pod. It almost is like a maraca. It's an instrument, and you can hear the poppies inside of that. And so you would, at that time, you can open them or you can save them. So you can do it then, or you can save them to spring, and you can just direct sow them, sprinkle them in the ground.
Or put them on your
bagels.
And 132-519. We got more coming up in the show. Man, the Pinku was rocking earlier. We'll give you an update on that. But first, we got another brand new one. And this is, I love